This soldier is a legend. Born into poverty, he had nothing but his wits and courage to help him survive. But when war broke out, this poor kid became one of the most important soldiers of all time. That's right. This soldier single-handedly changed the course of history. Want to know how? Keep watching. In the beginning, he was just another poor kid trying to make it in a tough world. He worked odd jobs and slept under the overpass trying to stay out of trouble. But when the war started raging around him, he knew he had to do something. He joined the army, not for riches or glory, but simply to survive. No one thought much of him at first. He was just another face in the crowd. But soon enough, he would rise through the ranks to become a legend. His big break came when he single-handedly took down an entire German tank division. With nothing but a few grenades and a lot of guts, he wiped out an entire enemy squad, earning him the respect of his fellow soldiers and the fear of his enemies. His name became a whisper in the wind, a symbol of courage and strength. People whispered tales of his bravery around campfires, and his deeds became the stuff of legend. As the war raged on, so did his reputation. He fought in some of the most important battles of the war, always coming out on top. He was a true leader, inspiring those around him to be better soldiers, to fight harder and never give up. His charisma was undeniable. Wounded and exhausted soldiers saw him and felt a surge of energy. They knew they could count on him, and he never let them down. But even legends have their breaking points. He, too, felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. He, too, questioned whether he would ever see peace again. But he pushed on, driven by an inner strength that no one else could understand. He was a soldier, and it was his duty to protect his country, his people, and his friends. Then came the day that changed everything. In a daring mission behind enemy lines, he and his small band of soldiers took on a heavily guarded German base. It was a suicide mission, one that no one thought they could survive. But he led his men with a combination of skill and cunning, taking out enemy soldiers and blowing up tanks left and right. It was a sight to behold, a one-man army taking on an entire nation. And then it happened. With a final burst of gunfire, he took down the last enemy soldier. They had done it. Against all odds, they had won. But the victory was short-lived. As he made his way back to friendly lines, he was captured by the enemy. He was taken to a dark and dank prison cell, tortured and beaten until he was barely conscious. But he never gave up. Not only because he was a legend who refused to bend, but because he had something worth fighting for. Back at the prison, word of his capture had reached the ears of his fellow soldiers. They weren't about to let him die without a fight. In a daring rescue mission, they stormed the prison, blasting through the doors and taking out any enemy soldier who stood in their way. When they finally reached him in the prison cell, he was weak and wounded, but alive. They carried him out of there, the cheers of the crowd echoing in his ears. He had survived, and so had his legend. But the war wasn't over yet. There were still many battles to fight, many lives to save. And he, the legendary soldier who had risen from nothing to become a hero, was ready for it all. He might have started out as just another poor kid, but he ended the war as a legend, a symbol of hope, courage, and resilience. He showed the world that even in the darkest of times, one person can make a difference. So remember him, the soldier who went from rags to riches. What's your favorite moment from this soldier story? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to hear more amazing stories like this one, subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.